Okay. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the University of Guelph's webinar. We are so glad that you have joined us today. This presentation is specific to the transfer admission process, so if you're thinking of applying, we will be recording today's presentation and posting it to our YouTube channel. I would like to acknowledge that the University of Guelph campuses resides on the lands of the Dishwith Wensman Wampum. We recognize that the Anishinaabe, Haudenosaunee, Lunipiwak, and Huron-Wendat peoples have inhabited these lands for centuries, and we respect their enduring relationships with these lands. We are committed to working towards decolonization and reconciliation with Indigenous peoples and enhancing the engagement of and supports for First Nation, Inuit, and Métis students. My name is Taylor, and I graduated in 2020 with a Bachelor of Arts and Sciences with minors in Neuroscience and Family and Child Studies. During my time at Guelph, I lived and worked in housing for a student club called Interhall Council, where I represented resident students. I also represented hospitality services as the ombudsperson and was the student link to between our amazing campus food, where I worked on our on-campus bookstore too. I absolutely love being so close to our Arboretum. And as you can see, I was super involved at my time at Guelph, and that's really what made my time at the university so special. A fun fact about me is that my brother is also a Griffin, and he's currently in his last year studying a Bachelor of Arts in Music. In today's presentation, we will cover our campus, our student life, followed by the City of Guelph, and our 16 academic programs. Finally, I will share what makes the student experience at Guelph stand out to me. And please note that everything that I'm mentioning in today's presentation is also available on our webpage, and you can use the QR code on screen now to find out more detailed information. For those of you here who have already applied for admission, please be patient as we will be reviewing requirements, deadlines, and how to apply. You can use the Q&A function to ask questions throughout the presentation, and I will get to them at the end of today's presentation. Please note that there are also a lot of QR codes throughout the presentation, so just kind of have your phones ready. My first time on campus was absolutely magical. It was that perfect sunny fall day that you hope for, where the leaves are beautiful shades of red and orange, and the sun shines all over the stone buildings and follows you along the brick pathways. I was on campus for fall preview day, where my whole family was, and we were on a tour, and I just knew on that tour that the University of Guelph was for me. You can book a campus tour using the QR code on screen or by visiting our website. The City of Guelph is a mid-sized university. So Guelph is a mid-sized university, and it has a friendly and welcoming community that provides the ultimate student experience, and that warm campus vibe extends to the City of Guelph too, where the City of Guelph is one of the top 10 places to live in Canada. It's the perfect balance of city life and small town friendliness, where you can kayak down the Guelph River, attend the almost 200-year-old farmers market, and is only an hour away from the city. Lots of our students enjoy living and learning in Guelph, but our location also makes it possible to commute from the GTA, Kitchener-Waterloo, or Hamilton area. We are a mid-sized, comprehensive, and research-intensive university. We receive $146 million in annual research funding and have one of the highest percentages of female STEM students nationally. I chose Guelph because of the welcoming community, the stunning green campus, and that it offered the program I was interested in. With over 200 clubs and organizations on campus, it's easy to get involved, feel supported, and find friends with similar interests. I even tried out for Quidditch, broomstick, and all. Find your people at Griffin's Read or join a student government, the Futures Vets Club, or represent your residence hall like I did. There's a club for everyone. I am now part of over 190,000 alumni all over the world, and I cannot wait until my brother joins me in the Griffin alumni family. From move-in day to graduation, the University of Guelph is where you'll find yourself. We support our students through counseling services, health and wellness supports, and academic resources, just to name a few, all in our one building on our campus with the overarching philosophy of improving life. One to specifically note is our transfer student programs, where there's specific student programming just for you during orientation week and the entire academic year. Your current go-to person is Jen McCluskey, and you can find her information on screen now. At the University of Guelph, we believe that every student who is academically qualified to attend university should be able to do so regardless of financial obstacles. That's why we offer over $27 million in scholarships and bursaries every year. On our website, linked on the screen right now, is where you'll see that Guelph does a lot to help you out financially, including over 4,000 on-campus jobs, the support of financial aid counselors, and the administration of government student loans. And to find hundreds of available awards, check out our scholarship search tool online, which allows you to filter awards based on your program and other criteria. The University of Guelph offers 16 undergraduate degrees with over 85 different majors and specializations. You can explore all of them using the QR code on screen. Our largest programs are the Bachelor of Arts, Bachelor of Science, Bachelor of Commerce, and Bachelor of Engineering. We also offer specialized degrees such as Landscape Architecture, One Health, and the Doctor of Veterinary Medicine. You can choose to complement your degree in one of over 60 minors, and we have a strong focus on experiential learning and opportunities for studying abroad, where you can take what you've been taught in the classroom and put it into practice, like studying sustainable tourism in Cancun. In addition, we have unique pathways with Ontario colleges that set you up to earn your U of G degree in a related field, but I will explain what this means a little later on. Now let's talk about what you need to be admitted to the University of Guelph. Please use the QR code on screen to further explore the specific admission requirements for your program of interest, including prerequisite courses, steps on how to apply, and more. The minimum cumulative average required to be considered for admission varies by program. So we encourage you to visit our website to find the minimum required cumulative average for the program you're interested in applying to. Transfer applicants must have completed the 4U level prerequisite courses or equivalents for the program they're applying to. We do require you submit high school transcripts so that we can review them and confirm you have graduated high school and completed your prerequisites. However, your post-secondary marks are the main factor that the admission committee will consider for admission purposes. Anyone who has attended a post-secondary school is considered a transfer applicant. This is true even if you attended the institution 15 years ago. You are still considered a transfer student, not a mature student. To be considered for admission as a transfer student, you must have completed at least 1 year of full-time study in a 2 or 3 year diploma program or 1 semester of full-time study in a degree program. To apply to the University of Guelph as a transfer student, you will need to submit an application on the Ontario University's Application Center or OUAC. You can apply using the QR code on screen now, which will take you to ouac.on.ca. Once you apply through OUAC, your application is forwarded to our applicant processing team. We will start working with your application file, determine which documents are required, and assign you a University of Guelph email account and web advisor account. This initial information will be conveyed to you by email to the address you used to apply. After that, all communication is conducted through your Guelph email account and your web advisor. Your web advisor account allows you to track the status of your application and required documents. Please note that there is no direct entry to biomedical science, animal bio, or criminal justice and public policy for transfer students. If you apply to one of these majors, you'll be considered for a different major in the same program. You also can't apply directly to co-op. However, you can apply to co-op once you've been admitted to your program. Before we can consider your application complete and send it forward for review, we need transcripts from the schools you've attended. This includes high school transcripts and all post-secondary transcripts, current or past. If there are significant gaps of time between your studies, you need to tell us what you're doing during these times. So for example, working, traveling, volunteering, caring for a family member, or parenting. We accept unofficial documents to be considered for a conditional offer of admission. So this means you can submit transcripts in your possession that have been opened, and if you meet the requirements, you could get an offer. If you do get a conditional offer based on unofficial transcripts, you'll need to arrange the submission of official copies by a certain date outlined in your offer letter. Once we have received your documents, your file is complete. Your application will be forwarded to the admission counselor that is responsible for the program you've applied to. The admission counselors work with admission committees to evaluate applications and make admission decisions. Once the admission counselor has received your file, they will evaluate it to see if a conditional offer can be made from the information and grades that we have received. If more information is needed, we will update your application status on WebAdvisor to communicate that your file is on hold until more documentation is received. Usually this means final grades. This stage of the application process could take several weeks depending on where we are in the admission cycle and when the admission committee can meet. But we try to communicate a decision with you, so conditional or needs more information as soon as possible. But many factors contribute to this timeline, including committee meetings, document deadlines, earlier entry points, and workflow. The timelines we're sharing with you today are just estimates and will ultimately depend on the volume of work coming into our office. Remember, transfer student applications are processed manually and by our thorough and awesome admission team. Around deadline dates, we do experience a bit of a bottleneck effect, and we appreciate your patience in advance as we do work through the number of files and records coming into our office at once. Here are the application document submission deadlines for available entry points in 2024. The application deadline is the date by which you need to submit your application on OUAC and pay the application fee. The document submission deadline is the date by all of your documents must be received by the undergraduate admission services at the University of Guelph. The deadline to apply for admission for the next available entry point is our fall 2024 deadline, which is April 1st. And you can see that you need to have your documents submitted by May 1st. Please note that most programs review applications and extend offers of admission on a continuing rolling basis. So for this reason, you are strongly encouraged to apply and submit your documents well before these deadlines. It's important to note that the Bachelor of Landscape Architecture has a March 1st application and background information form deadline. Transfer applicants are welcome to submit a personal support letter to supplement their application. Note that this support letter is optional unless it's specifically requested in the document section of your University of Guelph applicant web advisor account. There are no specific guidelines for content or formatting other than to submit the letter to applicant@uofguelph.ca as a Word or PDF document attachment after you have applied. Most students keep this letter to 1 to 2 pages and use it to explain or elaborate on extenuating circumstances that affected their grades in the past, their reasons for applying to the University of Guelph, and their future academic or career goals. Applicants must submit a background information form to be considered for admission to the Associate Diploma in Turfgrass Management and the Bachelor of Landscape Architecture, and you can see those dates on screen now for future reference, as you can see, because they have already passed. Now we'll move on to talk about a topic you're probably wondering about, transfer credits. A reminder that all transfer admission information is available on our website as well. To evaluate and assess your transcript for transfer credits, the admission counselor will look at your transcript and compare it to the university's existing credit equivalency database. If a course has not been evaluated and added to the equivalency database, the admission counselor reviews course outlines and sometimes consults with faculty to determine transfer credit. Note that we are not able to offer pre-assessments of transfer credits or admissibility. To learn which and how many transfer credits you will receive, you need to apply and submit all required documents and transcripts. Successful applicants are notified of their transfer credit in their offer of admission letter. The exception to this is the Bachelor of Engineering. Because of the program's accreditation standards, transfer credits may take longer to assign and are assessed after admission. For transfer students who have studied in a degree program, we typically grant transfer credit for all successfully previously passed courses. If you've previously earned an undergraduate degree, you will be eligible to receive a maximum of 10 credits towards a second degree. For transfer students who have studied in a diploma program, we assign credit where possible, up to 5 credits for a completed 2-year diploma and up to 10 credits for a completed 3-year diploma. 5 credits is equivalent to 1 year or 2 semesters of full-time study at university, and 10 credits is equivalent to 2 years or 4 semesters. When a student has completed a course in an academic discipline or subject area that we don't offer at Guelph, transfer credit is still considered and generic elective transfer credits are assigned. So for example, a second-year social work course from another institution would usually be assigned a second-year social sciences elective transfer credit at U of G because we don't have a social work program. Now we're going to briefly touch on pathway and articulation agreements. So for a complete list of our pathways and institution-specific articulation agreements, please use the QR code on screen now. A pathway is an agreement that links graduates of a certain diploma programs to a degree program in the same field. There may be specific admission requirements that differ from general college transfer requirements. Pathway programs have been pre-assessed for transfer credit, and upon admission, students receive a standard block of credit towards their degree program. Now that we've covered admission information, I want to share a brief overview of student life at Guelph. University is so much more than your academic program, and your experiences outside of the classroom are just as important. While I mentioned that the University of Guelph is commutable for many, if you do want to live on campus, we have some great options for you. Transfer students are more than welcome to apply for on-campus housing. There are 13 residences to choose from on the north, east, and south sides of campus. All of our residence buildings are within a 5 to 7 minute walk to the center of our campus. I had a single room in my first year in South Residence where my mom and I prepped all summer long, picking out the best laundry bag, the cutest rug, and the coziest wrinkly lights. All of these homely touches really made my room feel like a home away from home. I lived in an academic cluster for my program where everyone who was in my tower was in the same program. I absolutely loved this because we were able to go to classes, study together, and I had an upper year student in my program there to support us. Many transfer students like the townhouse style and apartment style residences because they have kitchens and allow for a more independent living. I lived in a townhouse in my last 2 years. My room overlooked the University of Guelph Arboretum, which is 400 acres of nature and trails and meadows. If I ever needed a study break, luscious greens and chirping birds were right outside my door waiting to greet me. Living in a house with my friends, having a kitchen, living room, and dining room with only a 7-minute commute to class down a beautiful brick pathway was an absolute dream. Living in residence that had a dining hall in it, my friends and I had a tradition of getting a late night snack. So whether that was a strawberry banana smoothie, a gourmet crepe with whipped cream from Windows Cafe, or a slice of hot pepperoni pizza in Mountain Dining Hall, calling it our second dinner, the food was just that good. You can use your meal plan both on and off campus at over 40 locations combined, and you can pick from 5 different meal plans offered to best suit your dining hall needs, and it works just like a debit card. As the hospitality representative for my last 2 years, I was interviewed by Maclean's magazine, who ranks as #1 for best campus food in Canada for over 10 years in a row, where I was able to boast about how accommodating hospitality is with their halal, vegan, kosher, and gluten free options. Being their student link, I ensured that the student voices were always heard through working with managers and making student suggestions come to life. But what really blew me away was the commitment to sustainability and local food. Every single Wednesday, our chefs go to a local produce auction where they bid from farmers for the freshest fruit and most vibrant veggies to make international flavors with local ingredients. The infamous butter chicken is a family recipe from one of our esteemed international chefs, and it was my favorite to get on Wednesdays. In our bright and modern athletic center, my friend and I attended Zumba with Steph or Step in Core with Jeff. I accessed the gym with my energy membership every semester. Athletics doesn't just end with our fitness center, though. We also have a stunning 40-foot rock climbing wall, two ice rinks in our on campus arenas, two huge swimming pools, indoor and outdoor fields. We also offer a variety of sports. If you're thinking about playing on a team for varsity, I would encourage you to visit griffins.ca to get in contact with the coach. We also offer an intramural program that 9,000 students participate in every year. There are multiple levels of difficulty to fit your experience levels, and I never considered myself athletic in high school, and I didn't participate in intramurals until my last year, but I wish I had joined sooner. I played on the Just for Fun multi sport team where we played a different sport every week. We played traditional sports like badminton and hockey, and more unique ones like spikeball and dodgeball. Playing a new sport every week was tons of fun, and even though I didn't get very good at flag football or basketball, no surprise really, I love that with every new sport we got closer, became stronger, and grew as a team. With over 200 clubs and organizations on campus, it's very easy to get involved, feel supported, and find those friends with those similar interests. You can even find your people at Griffin's Read or join a student government or the Future Vets Club or resident or represent your residence hall like I did. I genuinely think that there's a club for everyone. So I want to just take this moment to thank you so much for coming to this prospective webinar. As you can see on the screen now, you can book a 15-minute meeting with myself on our Transfer Tuesdays and register for any of our events using that QR code. Anything that we have upcoming will be there. You can also find us on our campus and do a campus tour. We have campus tours running Monday to Friday and most Saturdays. And then if you have any questions for our current students, you can use the Unibuddy, which is a text-based app messaging platform where you can chat with any current students in our programs. But thank you so much for coming to the webinar.